Hello, friends, and welcome to the DLLS Cowboys podcast. On today's edition, we're shorthanded, but we'll try our best. George Pickens versus DaRon Bland. Will I misrepresent Jesse Holley when it comes to a certain topic? In a game of HolleyLuyeayeaYeaYeaYea or CavaNawNawNaw. Let's talk Cowboys. Meow. What's up, everybody, and welcome into the DLLS Cowboys podcast, the shorthanded version, as we have no beat writers in the studio, which means we have no information. It's just going to be an hour of recce specky. Nothing but reckless speculation on a white shirt Thursday. Welcome to the broadcast. And shout out to in the chat, Andrew, saying, appreciate Broadus getting the arguments going before the show even starts. You got to replace Chill's energy somehow. Yeah, I did a show with Brian Broadus on my tiny little YouTube channel this morning, and he brought you up, and he told me that he didn't say I had to fight you, but when he said you said, I was like, oh, we're going to fight today. We're going to fight. We're going to fight.
I'm well rested. I'm ready for a fight today, baby. Dan Myers! First one.
It is Dan every time. Dan gets here earlier than a MF. Hello, everyone. My name is Jeff. What is my phone doing? My phone's rebooting. I'm seated next to former Cowboys wide receiver Jesse Holley.
Oh, Jesse Holley went 77 yards. It must be a reality show.
I love the fact that we had the same synergy and energy and mindset to put on the white T-shirts today.
Because we knew we were going to fight.
But it just tells the difference in our personalities. Your white T-shirt, regular collared white T-shirt.
Yeah, regular.
My white T-shirt, little V-neck white T-shirt.
You want me to tell you why?
Sure. And are you dogging underneath there?
Yes, I'm dogging. It's a T-shirt.
That's crazy, man.
I dog under T-shirts. You guys tell him it's okay to dog under T-shirts.
You don't dog. You don't
dog underneath.
This
isn't underneath.
You don't dog underneath any shirt.
See, I don't own an A shirt.
A shirt. A shirt.
I don't own an A shirt anymore. I don't have any.
Get your pack. I'm gonna get you a pack.
Give me a pack.
Give me a pack of 10.
Give me the black ones though. They look good because I want to wear it by itself, and that looks like you can. The white one looks like you just left the trailer park. Also, in real life stuff, where I just like to crowdsource my life. Where do you guys go to? What brand of tennis shoe is wide by default? A lot of mine are too thin.
All the old people, young folks will wear anything.
Yeah, old people.
Old people.
How do you get? Do I have to just get the wide version of every shoe, or which ones are wider by default? That's what I need to know. I forgot what the first segment is. No, I didn't. Yeah, it's window talk. It's the window talk. I appreciate Ryan. Keep me on track there.
Appreciate that.
Because we were talking about this. We were talking about this morning, or we were kind of talking about this because you texted me things this morning, and we were talking about the Cowboys window relative to where they are in the East, who the quarterback is, what's going on with the contracts, and all the different things, and just the idea of how long are they good for? Is there pressure to win right this second, or are we dead in the water? Are we dead in the water? And so your thoughts on a window? Is it? Or is it going? Or is it going?
I don't think it's getting wider. I don't think the window of opportunity is getting wider for the Cowboys. But because I'm thinking about this conversation and I'm saying to myself, all right, what did this window look like? Because there's a bunch of variables that's happening in this window. Because normally you think, okay, new head coach, windows open,
wide open, baby.
Right? We can do different things. We have the opportunity. I don't particularly think that the window for the leash for Brian Schottenheimer is as long as people may want it to be.
See, I think it is because I think the Joneses are cheap, and however many years he signed for, they're not going to pay two coaches.
But I also believe what they've seen in the last couple of years of how this fan base have kind of turned really nasty against them. Yeah. They have seen some dips in ticket sales and marketing and all the other things, even though they raised ticket prices this year. I think they looked at that and thought to themselves, we have to be able to do something and do something fast. Hence why I think they went and made that George Pickens trade, because that's also in the equation. You know, you go get a guy like George Pickens and you try to pair him with CeeDee Lamb. But then you have the young talent like, all right, Micah Parsons, who's still on his rookie deal and will probably get a new contract. And then CeeDee Lamb got a new contract a year ago. But it all, to me, is contingent upon the Q. It's because if you don't have a quarterback, you don't have anything.
No.
And the Cowboys' window of success will be as big or as small as Dak Prescott is a part of this football team. And not only being a part of this football team, but being a part of this football team healthy. And that's the part. That's the part where I'm saying, I don't know about this. And it feels like, and even going to your 24-month rule, right? Dak Prescott's going to his 10th, 11th season. He is what he is.
Yeah, I know what Dak is.
He is what he is.
I know what Dak is.
He ain't gaining no more. Like he could say all he wants in the offseason, oh, I'm working on running. You're not gonna be a runner. You're not gonna be a running quarterback. You know, you're gonna be anywhere between a 4,000 to 4,600 a year
to 5,000.
He hasn't quite got there yet.
5,100.
Close, but he ain't quite got there yet. You know, you're gonna have a good touchdown to interception ratio. You're gonna play some really big regular season games. We know what you are in the playoffs. Not all your fault, but the quarterback does.
You play part of it.
You play part of it, and that's why I look at this thing, and I'm looking at contracts as well for Dak. Right, he is the highest paid per year quarterback in the National Football League, and I think it's this year. Maybe
technically he has 4 years left.
Right.
His extension is just now starting.
But then you can kind of get jiggy with it after 2 years.
Yeah, you could after 2 and easily after 3.
Right.
You could.
So what does that window look like? Because we can, yes, talk about what the Cowboys will do or try to do, but it's also that window looks about what is the other league around you doing? We know Philadelphia, they're kings. They won the Super Bowl. They're the kings.
I'm scared of them.
Washington,
bums.
They're on the way.
Bum.
They're on the come up, and some may even believe that they're better than the Cowboys right now.
Bum.
The Giants, we don't quite know what they are right now.
Wouldn't worry about them yet. Now,
right.
if they let Jameis play, then you worry about them.
But what is, you think Green Bay is still a pretty good team. San Francisco just paid their quarterback, so how that will play out. There are multiple factors that go into what it looks like from the NFC East perspective, from the NFC perspective, and how much of the window is left for the Cowboys before we go, that's about done.
Yeah, you see them close all the time. Like San Francisco's seems like it closed last year. Like they just ran out of
time. Ran out on
what happened to them especially is they went on a 4-year run of drafting like boo-boo. They no longer had the young, cheap, good players. And then the good players they had got old on them, and like it all happened together.
Mm-hmm.
So San Francisco fell off.
And the
Cowboys have a part of that danger happening to them. This draft better be a good one.
Right.
And I like what they did. But they're on a couple-year run.
Right.
And their quarterback's getting old. You got some of that 49ers stuff happening to you. And I think what makes their window will never, at least for the next 3 years, if Dak is Dak, their window. I don't think your window can close with what are you comfortable saying about CeeDee? Top 3 wide receiver? Top 5?
Top 3.
Okay.
Sure.
A top 3 wide receiver, maybe a top 1 pass rusher, and a franchise quarterback. Like, unless you are just doing an awful job at team building, your window can't close all the way. With a franchise quarterback, one of the best receivers in the game, one of the best pass rushers in the game. Like, you should be able to figure it out. Now, the Cowboys tried to prove that you can absolutely be bad with all that by adding literally nothing an entire offseason a year ago. The in the division part makes it interesting because Washington is on the come up, and Philadelphia is going to try to hold on to what they built because they're set up to run into the Titanic, but not until 2029. And that sounds like about the end of Dak's career.
Right.
So your window is going to coincide with you have to find a way to beat the team that has mortgaged everything, but they did it for a half-decade window. So I don't think the Cowboys window is closing unless Dak is breaking down. If Dak is breaking down, if the 2025 draft class doesn't turn out to be a good draft class, I think that could kill you. Because that would be 3 straight years?
3 straight years.
3 straight years of not adding good young talent when you're not a team that aggressively adds talent outside of George Pickens. Boy, that thing could slam shut. This year's wild because I have no idea how good they're going to be. Part of me thinks that the Cowboys are being incredibly optimistic about getting positive answers to lots of things. Like if you don't have a positive answer from the trade for Kaiir Elam, how are you starting the year at corner?
Yeah.
Like if Kaiir Elam isn't good, then you're going to run out DaRon Bland, Izzy,
Andrew Booth,
Kalen Carson. If Kaiir Elam can't play in week 1, it's Philly in week 1, isn't it? Oh, God. Yeah. In week 1, they're going to pull up. Oh, God. You'd have to tell me how these meetings go when you're getting ready to play. I drown the studio, but with water. There's no fireball in there. In week 1, you got to tell me how it goes, like when the offense gets together and they're putting together the initial game plan, because I feel like they'll put the Cowboys depth chart up there, and it'll just have big old circles around 2 of the 3 corners. And they'll be like, yeah, that guy's all right. We're not afraid of him. That'll get ugly. Like they need a positive answer to the Kaiir Elam thing.
Yep.
To at least one of Sanborn signing, Kenneth Murray trade. They need a positive answer to their rookie first-round pick at right guard, to progress at left tackle. And if 1 or 2 of those that you're being, I think, kind of optimistic about don't pan out, that's trouble. That's trouble. And so I don't know. Should we be predicting the Cowboys to be a 10 or 11 win team or a 7 or 8 win team? I don't know. It depends on a bunch of things that I think they feel good about that I look at kind of sideways.
And that's when I look at the window and I say to myself, like, there's a lot of if that need to come into play. And I know that there are people going to say, well, there's other teams. I don't cover those teams. I don't cover those teams, and those teams aren't a topic of discussion for a show that is called the DLLS podcast.
That's true.
So for the Cowboys, those ifs, and that's the biggest thing.
I didn't even mention running back.
There's so many of the ifs that have to come true, and that's why I'm looking at that window and I'm just saying, how long can they hold on? How long can they keep this thing together before they have to officially say that we are truly reloading or rebuilding? And that also means you can also reload or rebuild with really good players still on your roster. But, and we'll talk about it more later on, you're going to have to pay another player after two more players or three more players after this year, after you pay Micah Parsons.
You know the Jones family kind of puckers up on them when it's time to write checks.
So like so a lot of what your roster is going to be in the future is going to be tied up in maybe 5 players.
Yeah.
That's where San Fran ran into a problem at. They stopped drafting good and they had to start paying players, and then ultimately you have to pay the quarterback, right? Mm-hmm. When that comes into play, that now eliminates all the other option that you have of going to bring in that top tier free agent talent. That's the thing about Washington. Washington still sits in a place where their quarterback is still on a rookie deal and super cheap. And so now I have this money that I can play with because I don't have to go put 50, 55, 60, $65 million on a quarterback. I can spread that money out all across the board to bring in more players and more talent via free agency and some veterans that can put around this young talent. Now, they'll come to a point because San Francisco did. They went to the Super Bowl twice.
I mean, I feel like they were in the NFC title game every year
single
forever.
Year, right? Like they were in the conversation. Right. They couldn't get over the hump. And then they come to a point that goes,
we ran out.
We ran out. We tried, but we ran out. And that is the place that you want to be in, that place of being able to say we tried and we got there. The Cowboys haven't really tried and definitely hadn't gotten there.
Kind of try sometimes.
And that window for me is for sure more on this end. You can play this in reverse and it looks like this, but it's more so on it's on that way.
I'm a psycho sports fan. I'd be thrilled if the Cowboys were what San Francisco was. And I know you get people who be like, I only want to win the Super Bowl. And I'm like, man, if I am actually in the mix every single year, I'll take my chances. Let me get in that category. Coming up next on the DLLS Cowboys podcast, we got some frosty takes, including something on the left tackle, and then I'm going to misrepresent Jesse maybe so that we can fight about DaRon Bland and George Pickens. It's next on the DLLS Cowboys podcast.
Mando is the men deodorant brand that's hyper-focused on every aspect of the man's body. Smelling fresh and smelling so clean.
Oh, yes.
Mando overly calls out colorful parts of man's body such as the pits, the belly, the balls, the butt crack, and the grundle. Y'all don't want to be out here in these hot summer days, especially if you live here in Texas and your grundle is foul. A foul grundle is not a happy grundle. You need to go out there and reach out to my people at Mando and get yourself some grundle gratification.
I can't believe that's in the copy points. Like, you think Jesse's being gross. They want him to say that.
And all these scents are geared towards men. Bourbon leather, cloverwood,
ribeye.
Mount Fiji. Not ribeye, but pro sports. So head on over to Mando.com, use the promo code DLLS, and get $5 off a starter pack. That way you have a bunch of stuff for every part of the body. Mando.com, use the promo code DLLS and get $5 off a starter pack.
Also want to invite all of you to come hang out with us in Las Vegas.
Let's go.
The Cowboys are playing in Vegas on November 17th. We are going to go out there. We're going to do our pre and our post from there. It's going to be great. And we want everybody to join us. And our friends at True Fan Travel are going to help you with the ultimate fan experience. We're taking over the Strip for an unforgettable weekend in Vegas. You need to be there. Join us as the Cowboys take on the Raiders November 17th. This all-inclusive trip includes a 3-night stay at a luxury Vegas resort, game tickets, VIP parties, and exclusive events with us, the DLLS crew, and fellow diehard fans, and much more. This is how Dallas does Vegas. Book now. You go over to truefantravel.com, and that is how you get to see how Pop does Vegas. Get out there and have some brown liquor with Pop. truefantravel.com. All right, it is the DLLS Cowboys podcast, and it is time, courtesy of our friends at Wendy's. Look at that. Frosty Takes. Look at Wendy. Look at Wendy.
Good old Frosty.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys know this, but the Frosty, they're putting a twist on the classic. They got all new Frosty flavors. Find your new favorite flavor and clock in for sweet treat time anytime, including midnight or later. A refresh on a classic, gotta be Wendy's. At participating U.S. Wendy's, hours may vary by location. Get the strawberry Pop-Tart flavor. My Frosty take of the week, I'm going to say this with all of my chest.
Huh.
Tyler Guyton is going to be okay. Huh? Is that strong? Tyler Guyton is going to be all right. Fine. I said it.
Do you believe it, though?
I am trying to talk myself into believing it. He said good words. He has developed good habits that show me the right mindset and football character to become a better player. So Tyler Guyton is going to be okay.
That's Frosty.
He's going to be okay.
That's Frosty.
He's going to be okay.
There you go.
He's going to be all right.
There you go. Keep saying
Tyler Guyton is going to the Pro Bowl.
No. Wait a second.
Tyler Guyton's going to be okay-ish. Maybe.
All right, my Frosty take is a player that you just mentioned in the last segment that I think is going under the radar and not being talked about a lot in a positive manner. But this is where he needs to step up when people think he won't. Kalen Carson.
You talking about seatbelt?
Seatbelt.
You talking about the guy that Al Harris you said lied to your face?
He lied to my face.
I got another one.
I'm going to say that Al Harris told me a delayed truth.
Yeah, here it comes.
I'm going to say that Al Harris told me a delayed truth because I did believe in Kalen. And when you're a 4-year starter at a Power 5 conference, even though it was Wake Forest, you got a lot of...
You didn't have to do that to Wake.
Well, just saying.
Yep.
There's a lot of experience.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that can translate. And I think after last year, you have that welcome to the NFL moment. You get a chance to step back, kind of like Tyler Guyton. You get a chance to step back, reflect, come back from injury, get healthy mentally, physically, emotionally.
Yep.
The skill set is there. You know that there's a skill set there. And now it's time to put it all together. I think when we get to training camp, Kalen Carson's going to be one of those guys, kind of like he did last year in training camp, but it's going to carry over into the season.
I think what you're trying to say is Kalen Carson is going to be Frosty-ish.
It's going to be Frosty.
Maybe.
It's going to be Frosty.
All right, so I did a little tiny show on my little tiny YouTube channel this morning with Brian Broaddus. By the way, shout out to Clarence Hill in the super chat. $1.99. Love you guys. That is a guy that is feeling guilt.
Yeah.
That he couldn't find a later flight and had to miss today's show. That's $1.99 of guilt.
Over under
from Clarence.
$1.99 be more or less the money he gives out to a female.
I can see him going to Magic City and spending zero.
Really?
I can see Clarence being a just hang out in the back guy.
No way.
Just spectate.
No way.
No, he's in the middle of it.
He is spending that good hard-earned DLLS cash.
Have you had the chicken wings?
On somebody's tuition.
Are they actually good? Have you had the chicken wings?
Never been.
Okay.
I have zero desire.
We are men of God.
I am a man of God.
You are a man of God.
I'm a man of God.
And I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, come on over. Come on over. No, I've never. Funny thing about those clubs, man.
It better be funny.
I've only gone to 2 my entire life.
Yep.
One, I was on a recruiting visit.
Okay.
Probably shouldn't have been in there, but I was in.
Okay,
there.
18.
17.
17. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so even if it is 18, you could. Okay.
Still shouldn't have been in there.
Yeah.
Won't say what school. Just say Charles Rogers is a great host.
Okay.
Let me just say that. Let me just say that Charles Rogers is a great host.
Yep. Michigan State.
And then one time I came home. From college, and my friend took me there, and he sent the oldest.
You don't have to.
The oldest one in there.
Yeah.
It was
a mature lady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she came over, she's dancing. I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, oh, your friend bought. I'm like, how much? It's like 20. I was like, if I give you 20 more, would you leave me alone?
Yeah, I like that. That's a good strategy.
And I just made $40 to do nothing.
Yeah, it's a great place to give away a bunch of money for no reason.
No way.
Yeah.
No, I have zero desire. You'll never catch me in those places.
Dro Knows is in the super chat. My frosty take is that Dono got to go. Wanye, strong safety 1. I always support getting a good campaign going for a backup that we're trying to get a starting job to. I tried it last year. I tried Marquise Bell and Wanye. I was trying to get him on the field. It didn't work out for me, but I support trying with Wanye again.
All right.
I think it's a
the money makes it difficult.
It's a worthy try.
Money makes it difficult. When your play is not that much greater,
yeah,
but the money is opposite, makes it difficult.
Hit the like button while you're here. So I was doing a little tiny show today, and my friend Brian Broaddus made an accusation. Not an accusation. He just told me something.
Yeah.
He said, your friend Jesse texted me during a show and told me or said something along the lines of, this is going to be about George Pickens and DaRon Bland.
Correct.
That George Pickens is easier to replace than DaRon Bland. Because we're talking about what if they both have a good year and what do you do?
Correct.
And he said, yeah, Jesse said that George Pickens is easier to replace than DaRon Bland. And I said, don't tell me that Jesse said that. Because then I will have to go talk to Jesse.
Yeah.
And we have to do a show. And I don't want to go do a show and go in ready to fight.
Right.
Because I just want to talk about the team.
We can do it however you want it.
So George Pickens, easier to replace than DaRon Bland.
So let's talk about the conversation at whole. They were having a conversation.
Are you saying I'm misrepresenting you?
I'm saying that you are definitely, first of all, I don't like the fact that Brian Broaddus says your friend. Right? It's like when someone says oh, your parents, we have the same mom and dad. So it's all our parents.
I think he said your co-host.
Okay.
Who I like very much.
I don't think he said that.
Something like that.
I don't think he said that.
It was something like that.
But I got nothing but love for Brian Broaddus. He returned me. I texted him, he answered, so it's all good. But he was having a topic. I was driving home, and he was having a topic on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
And it was talking about the difference between, finding a player like George Pickens and then a DaRon Bland. And what happens if both of these two players kind of go off?
Yeah.
Who do you choose to pay if you can only pay one of them?
Yeah, and the answer is George Pickens.
The answer is DaRon Bland.
See?
The answer is DaRon, because as a wide receiver, a lover of the position, okay, it is easier, whether it is system-based or player-based, to find a George Pickens type player than it is to find a number one corner. Then the sheer numbers alone says that. And when you look at it, a lot of the players I shouldn't say a lot of the players. There are some players that we've seen develop that have been a developmental part of a system. Like, for example, I don't believe if you had put Puka Nacua in any other system that he becomes Puka Nacua.
You're Clarencing Puka.
I think
you are Clarencing Puka.
I'll do the same thing to the guy.
You said he was drafted late. He must not be good.
I'll go the same thing to the guy that was drafted before him. Who was they went to Seattle?
Which
won
one?
the Triple Crown. Cooper Kupp.
Oh.
There are certain guys.
Went to Eastern Washington.
There are certain guys where if you're in the right system, especially in systems like McVay's or Shanahan's or McDonald's or those who take a lot of the thinking away from it, say, hey, run this route. We're going to run this certain concept. And if they give us this coverage, this guy's going to be open. Now, you have other players who are put in systems that don't have nothing around them. Like, I'll give you an example of talent, right? To me, Josh Gordon, talent.
Yep.
God-given talent. Josh Gordon had 1,500 yards. 1,600 yards, and you can't tell.
In 14 games with Brandon Weeden and them.
You know what that tells me?
Yeah.
That dude is that dude is special.
That's like George. That's like if somebody had 1,100 yards with, I don't even remember the quarterbacks in Pittsburgh recently.
He didn't have 1,100 yards.
He had his second year, he had 11.
Who?
George Pickens. His 3 years are like 9, 11, 10. Hundreds. Hold on, I'm going to look it up. Don't mess with me.
I just look at the fact that we can find a receiver or a receiver type, and we can put those type of numbers up. 6, 7,
8, 1140, 9. He had 1140. 5 touchdowns.
You can't. We're having a conversation. What are the biggest holes that the Cowboys have right now?
It was wide receiver 2.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
It was cornerback.
Corner, D-tackle, running back. Like, they had a lot of them.
Yeah, but
And yet, we were trying to get T-Mac over anything in the draft.
Right. But yet and still, even offensively, you still were able to keep at pace with having CD and a bunch of maybes. Your offense didn't fall off that much.
Last year it kind of did, right?
Well, your quarterback was missing for a large part of the season.
But even when he was out there, they had a not try hard offseason. But what were they, 2-4 when Dak, 2-3, 2-4 when Dak got hurt? Something like that?
But the offensive numbers, the offensive productivity hadn't fallen off that much. You don't have any corners out there, you're in a world of trouble. You are in an absolute world of trouble. So I just think that I can find or I can make wide receiver number 2 or function in that vein way easier than I can to find a cornerback number 1. You don't have true cornerbacks on the outside, well, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. In this league,
I agree with
trouble.
that. No, I agree with that.
And so that's why I picked Bland over Pickens. If they both balled out and I had to pick one to pay, I'll go and say I'll pay Bland and I'll let Pickens walk and take my chances on finding another one in free agency, finding another one in the draft, and moving on from there. It's difficult to find a cornerback 1.
Okay, so I guess what my take on it would hinge on what do you think of DaRon Bland? Because I think he's good. I don't think he's, hey, remember I had 76 pick sixes, like I'm the best corner in football good. I think that he had that great year. Trayvon had a great year at forcing turnovers. I think he's good.
Okay.
I don't think.
I think George
Pickens
Pickens is good.
Cowboy people? I agree, but I think from a holy cow talent perspective, like there's a lot in George Pickens that could go bonkers. There's a lot in there that could go off.
But that's the same. I can say the same thing for DaRon Bland, a guy who has ball skills. Like, go back and watch his interceptions. He was taking the ball away from people. It wasn't like it was a tip and he intercepted it. It wasn't
the
like
receiver ain't 6'3", 225.
Well,
we might have to Put Stephon Gilmore over there and pull him out the fire.
Okay.
I'm just like, if you had a prime Jalen Ramsey and we were talking about George Pickens, I would say absolutely I agree with you. I guess that's just not where I put Bland. I think he's good. Like, I think Bland is a top.
If you said
20
CD,
corner,
if you said CD or Bland,
you'd take CD.
Not even close.
Okay,
it would be CD all day.
So our disagreement is just how we feel about each player. You feel better about Bland than I do, and I feel like Pickens is not a. You got to get me open. I need this scheme. Like, I like Pickens because I think he exists outside of that, where it's no. If it's me and him, it's me, and most guys don't do that. I think he fits here perfectly. And I think the dude who just lines up and you go, is it just y'all two? I want that. We've been trying to find a number 2 receiver for.
I get you. I'm with you.
Since Coop left, we've been desperately like, how are we gonna?
I'm with you, but I just think if I had to choose between the two, gun to my head, I can find another George Pickens.
I can find another DaRon Bland.
Where? They can't find one.
The same place you're going to find another George Pickens. The first round. We're both going to have to use a first-round pick. That's where we're going to find them. Coming up next on the DLLS podcast, who won? And hit the like button or else. Not a threat. Coming up next on the DLLS podcast, we are going to play a game that we have come up with. The important thing when you're doing broadcast is to come up with really catchy names. And this is a Cowboys edition of HolleyluyeayeaYea.
There you go.
Or CavaNawNawNaw.
And
that's next on the DLLS Cowboys podcast.
Summertime is just a few weeks away, but the sun is out and shining bright. And you want to protect your eyes with a fantastic pair of shades from my friends at Shady
I left
Rays.
mine in the car again because I don't wear them inside, but I should have them for the read.
We should always have
I got
them for
the blue
read.
ones, the reflective.
The reflective ones. And I got the black ones. And you saw Sharon. Clarence, I don't know why I call him Sharon.
I don't know.
Clarence, I would think it's Shady and Clarence.
Calvin.
Sharon's. No, I'm like, I interview Clarence anyway. ShadyRays.com is where you need to go. DLS is the promo code that you need to use, and you can get 35% off a pair of polarized glasses today. They have all the styles, all the colors. If you're like into this whole team thing, whether it's NFL or MLB or NBA or hockey, no matter what it is, they have a team color to fit the glasses that you want, all the styles, all the colors that you would want to wear with all the outfits. Head over to ShadyRays.com. Over 300,000 people have given them 5-star reviews. Great quality, fast shipping, and if you don't like them, you can return them. ShadyRays.com, 35% off a pair of polarized glasses if you use the promo code DLLS.
Shout out to our friends at EmpireToday.com as well. I love Empire Today. If you are living in a home and you got some questionable flooring, you need our friends at Empire Today.
You do.
What you don't need to do is roll up to the big box store and just start stumbling around and finding the guy like me who just pushed the grills in because it's about to close for the night. Don't know what the heck I'm talking about anything in the store, but I'm here to answer questions. They're paying me. No, you need people who do this. This is what they do. That's our friends at Empire Today. EmpireToday.com is the website that you need. The promo code that you need is DLLS. That's how you get a $350 discount with our friends at Empire Today. So you're looking for some new laminate, some tile maybe some wood, maybe some wood floors in the house. Hit up our friends at EmpireToday.com. Use the promo code DLLS, and that will get you $350 off. It is the DLLS podcast and Cowboys podcast. And we are debuting a game.
Before we get into that, I like what Joe Knowles says right here. Hit the like button or rub lotion on Clarence's ashy knuckles. The choice is yours. Not a threat. I like that.
Button or rub lotion. Okay, yeah.
Hit the like button.
Yeah,
or you got to rub
right.
lotion.
You know, this is not the way you should broadcast. You should broadcast from a secure mindset and not attempt to argue with the chat, especially if they don't give you free money. But Timothy here, Jeff, keeps talking about all these things Pickens can do while ignoring the fact that Dak hates to and won't do those things. Throwing it up, throwing contested balls. Dak wants to see numbers. But Dak loves a contested seam route. Dak loves Michael Gallup running down the sideline. Dak loved.
One day we're gonna revisit that Michael Gallup. No, it's gonna revisit
Michael Gallup got 1,100 yards running go routes and stop routes.
We're gonna revisit that 1 year that Michael Gallup had, because people throw that out there like it is like a consistent thing.
I get you the Dak numbers. Like he's one of the highest volume sideline deep ball guys in the league.
I'm not fighting the Dak situation.
Come
I don't want to fight that.
Oh,
because I'm with you on that. But people will throw that. Boy, they will throw that Michael Gallup year.
You think that was like an NBA, like somebody got to score the points thing?
It was something like that. Because nothing before that, nothing after that ever matched that.
Well, he got hurt.
What about before that?
I think he had like 800 or 900, something like that. I may be making up numbers.
Yeah, I think he had like 600-700 yards. Like he had the quintessential number 2 wide receiver numbers before that.
Yeah,
and then he had that one good year
with Dak throwing that thing.
He had that Laurent Robinson year. He had that
second year, so he went 500, 1,100, 843, then got hurt. Yeah. So that's tough.
He had that CJ Wilson, Cedric Wilson. Yeah, he had that one good, got him paid.
Which is good. You got him a little contract.
Got him paid.
Got him a decent little contract. Yeah. This game.
Whoa,
Levi. Wow. Can we hit Club Pop Pop for Levi, please?
Club Pop Pop, where legends drop. Clarence Hill just can't stop. Breaking news, you gotta hop in Club Pop Pop.
Yeah,
what has he got here with the 50 bomb? Is it the hot dog or is it the bun? Been following you guys for years, specifically Jeff.
Okay.
You didn't have to add that last part.
No, you didn't have to.
But you guys all do great work. Here's a 50 bomb for one slot machine play in Vegas.
Thank you,
Levi.
Appreciate that, Levi.
Is it the hot dog or is it the bun is a segment I've come up with.
Yep.
Which I don't know, Ryan, if we have, I don't know if you see any button over there that says anything about a hot dog or a hot dog bun. But yeah, I pulled that from the Cowboys Prime show where they're at a high school game. Now this is a hot dog bun. I think it's a hot dog too. Bam, segment. Is it the hot dog or is it the bun? Now this one, we're using our last names, and this one is Holleyluyeayeayeea or CavaNawNawNaw.
Yeah.
With the Cowboys.
It's pretty good right there, man. That's good. That's good. That's good broadcasting right there.
Javonte Williams is about to become the 11th running back in Cowboys history to have a 1,000-yard rushing season. Is that Holleyluyeayeayeea or CavaNawNawNaw?
That's Holleyluyeayeayeea. Here's why.
It is not.
It doesn't take. It is 100% a Holleyluyeayeayeea.
Oh, you're going to use my Najee Harris thing here.
It doesn't.
If you get enough carries, it don't matter.
It doesn't take a lot. Like we are living in a time like it doesn't take much to get 1,000 yards, right? Like you have 17 games.
Here's Najee Harris: 3.8, 4.1, 4.0, all 1,000-yard seasons.
It doesn't take much. He's gonna get about 200 carries.
Now 200, you need 5 a pop.
I said about. I'm saying he's gonna get about.
I think you need 250.
He's probably gonna get that.
You need 250.
He's gonna get that, barring any injury. I don't know why you guys are putting. A lot of y'all are putting a lot on this whole Jayden Blue thing and him coming in being that running back for the Cowboys.
It's because of how I feel about Javonte Williams.
I'm looking at the way that Brian Schottenheimer likes to run the football. That screams for Javonte Williams. And I know that people are going to say I have some Tar Heel bias. It has nothing to do with the Tar Heel bias.
My man ain't never seen 1,000 yards. Even that rookie year, he was pretty good.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay.
He ain't never seen it.
This is the same thing with Michael Gallup. We're going to have that Michael Gallup year, baby. We're going to have that Michael Gallup.
I mean, it's really the Rico Dowdle year, right? That's what it is.
He's the next person in line because when you line up CeeDee Lamb and you line up George Pickens on the outside, and if whoever you want to put in that slot, the Cowboys are going to throw the ball around the field, those boxes are going to be light. And you're expecting Tyler Guyton to step up and play well.
Don't put that on me. That was for one segment.
So now you don't believe
I moved on from that.
You don't believe you don't believe you take 10 minutes apart?
He might be okay.
I think Javonte Williams being the next 1,000-yard rusher for the Cowboys is a Holleyluyeayeayeea.
Well, I think it's a CavaNawNawNaw, and I don't think I'm doing that just because we're both picking our own last name. I just can't see him getting 250 carries, and maybe he will. And part of it would be maybe he can return to the form that he had once upon a time. Now, once upon a time, to be clear, was in the year 2021. He got hurt in 2022 and has never really regained that form.
Until now.
I suppose it's possible. Do you I think it comes down to, like, what do you think he's going to get per carry? Because if you think Javonte Williams is going to get better than 4.5 a carry, I think he's got a shot at 1,000 yards. But if you think he's going to get 4 a pop, I need 250. I can't see him carrying the ball 250 times. And I don't know who's going to get all the carries. But I just can't see Javonte Williams being like real life. This dude's getting it. What is it? Wait, what is 250 to 17, 34? I guess what is that, 15 a game, give or take? I don't know. I'm bad at math. Maybe he can. It's not going to happen.
Where are all these carries going?
I don't know.
Where are they going?
I don't know. How many carries? Let me see. I got to look up their stats last year. Hold on. 2024.
Like, I'm just trying to figure out, like,
Dallas Cowboys.
They're not going. You cannot dress out 5 running backs in a game.
No,
you can
it'll be
dress
3.
out 3, and 1 won't see the field.
Okay, so last year there were 429 total carries, but that includes 8 Dalvin Cooks, 12 Hunter Lipkes, Trey Lance, Cooper Rush, Brandon Cooks. Rico and Zeke, between the two of them, was 309 with a random assortment of a handful to a bunch of other dudes. So if I've got just over 300 carries to give around, 250 ain't going to Javonte. That's like 180, 110, and then Lipke or Deuce or Miles Sanders 30 or 40. He ain't gonna get he don't have the juice.
Okay.
He don't have the juice.
Okay.
Now, if this question had been, will Deuce Vaughn have 1,000 yards? You could talk me into that.
In the USFL? Deuce Vaughn might not be on this football team.
He might not.
He probably won't make it through training camp.
Or he might get a real shot at this thing, and it'll be Deuce and Jaden Blue.
It's not happening.
It's very possible. HolleyLuyeayeaYeaYea or CavaNawNawNaw. Dak Prescott will pass for 5,000 yards this year. He's done 4,900 before.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to run the ball great, and I don't think they're going to be committed to trying to run the ball great because they traded for George Pickens. Dak Prescott will throw for 5,000 yards.
If I say HolleyLuyeayeaYeaYea, it goes against me saying that. No, because
don't ever be afraid of having some opposing views.
No.
Just don't even worry about it.
Because the year that he threw 4,900 yards was the same year that Zeke had 1,300 yards or 1,200 yards rushing. Amari Cooper had 1,100 yards receiving or something like that. I think they had like 2 receivers have 1,000-yard receivers and a running back had 1,000-yard rushing. So I'm going to say, yes, HolleyLuyeayeaYeaYea. Dak Prescott, he gets off the snide, comes back from the injury, and opens this thing up 5,000 yards for Dak Prescott passing the ball. HolleyLuyeayeaYeaYea.
Most passing yards 2024. Hold on, let me see here. I want to see what we're working with. I accidentally did it in a season. 2024 passing stats. Nobody threw for 5,000. I'm going CavaNawNawNaw because like nobody did last year.
Who came the closest?
49-18 Joe Burrow. And that was bad defense. Yeah. Holy crap, we have to go every week. So if I'm looking at this, I'm going to change the number. Did you say yes on 5,000?
Yeah.
Okay, then I just had to say no. I was going to change the number to see if you'd say yes, but you already said yes. So I don't have to change the number because 3 guys threw for 45. I think Dak will throw for 4,500 yards at least if he's healthy, between 45 and 4,750, somewhere around there, maybe 46 to 48. I do think he'll throw for a bunch of yards. No, he won't. You know what we're forgetting? The fields keep getting shorter. There's less yards to be had.
How'd the field get shorter?
Because the kickoff rules. It went from 25 to 30. It's going from 30 to 35. We're losing 5 yards on every drive right now.
Okay.
I think the league leader is going to throw for like 46.
All right, I'll take mine back. I'm going to go CavaNawNawNaw.
No, CavaNawNawNaw.
I'm going to go CavaNawNawNaw.
Well, we have too many left, so we're just going to keep cruising. Let's knock out these super chats, and then we do have questions from the Diehards as well as more questions for HolleyLuyeayeaYeaYea or CavaNawNawNaw. Jason's in the super chat. Do you think they'll keep Deuce along with Blue to mimic some of what they had with Joseph Randle and Lance Dunbar? I don't think we have to mimic Joseph Randle and Lance Dunbar, if we're being honest. Although go mean green for Lance Dunbar.
Shout out to Lance.
Unfortunately, I think Deuce will get bumped.
Unfortunately, I think Deuce time has come to an end. Or it's practice squad.
One of the vets, probably Javonte.
It's going to be Miles.
Blue. You think Miles makes it?
Oh, you mean get bumped? I thought you meant get bumped.
No, I think Deuce is going to get bumped. I think the running back room on a game day.
Yes.
Like, do you think Lipke will be one of them?
I don't know.
He could be the third one.
Yeah, possibly.
Because they don't. I get it. We know our team better than we know other teams, so we fall in love with all of our players. Like, Lipke might make it because if you ever want to have a fullback and you don't really need one of the Cowboys' third tight ends, like, I get it. People like John Stevens or whoever.
He'll be week to week. I think Lipke will be up and down because you can also – the same thing you're talking about doing for Lipke, you can do for another tight end. He could play that fullback tight end type situation.
Princeton Fant.
Yeah.
Carrie Matthews, Freak Jesus in here. Keyword is might. The Deuce is coming back this year, and we're going off. That's what I'm talking about. The Deuce is getting loose. All right.
Nope. I'm not shaking on that.
Dro knows. Where's Joe? Raiding meth labs. Joe's out of town too, right?
Oh, what Joe?
Joe went camping, I think.
Did he?
I think he went camping, which probably means yes. He's doing something to protect your city, state, and country. Night 405 in Super Chat. Is Dallas better at scouting wide receiver or cornerback? Well, that's a question that's going to require research. They picked CD, so I'm saying wide receiver. Like Gallup as a third-round pick, that's about what you hope to get from a third-round pick. Tolbert as a third-round pick might be less than you'd hope to get from a third-round pick, maybe. Or maybe he's right on track. I don't know. We'll let you know.
I don't think the Cowboys are good at scouting receivers. I think a couple of receivers have fallen into their lap.
They scouted them right.
Their last two big-time receivers have fallen into their lap.
They scouted them right.
Okay.
They're like, hey, that dude fell to us, and he's real good. Good call. Coming up next, we do have some questions from the Die Hard, and we have to continue this little game we're playing. It's next on the DLLS Cowboys podcast. Let me tell you about ball knowing. You know what I'm saying? With the ball knowing. Mm-hmm. Are you a ball knower? I don't know when that became a phrase, but there's a ball knower bonus that you can get with us here at DLLS.
And if your ball spell, make sure you get Mando.
Mando, yeah. For the NBA Finals, go to our merch store today, right now, today, and go get you 17 shirts, a coffee mug, and a beanie, and 2 hats, and a hoodie. I don't know if we have all those things, but get them all. Because with the ball knower bonus, when you get whatever you get from our merch store, you then will put in, there's a spot right there while you're doing it to say, do you want to do the ball knower bonus? And all you do is you predict who is going to win Game 1 tonight. Game 1 of Thunder Pacers. And if you get it right, you get a gift card for the amount.
Is it Game 1 or is the entire finals?
Well, I think the way it was explained to me was Game 1, but this says the finals.
Yeah.
So maybe you just picked. Look, follow the prompts. Look, when you get to the merch store and you're checking out, follow the prompts for the ball knower bonus. That's what you got to do. Because I know we're doing it for the Stanley Cup. Who's going to win the Stanley Cup?
Yeah.
I think it's an every game situation.
All right.
But look, follow the prompts.
The prompt will lead you to the truth.
The prompts, let me go to the merch store.
The prompt will lead you to the truth.
I'm going to do this right now.
Don't listen to me. Listen to what the prompt says. That's how you're going to get your money back if you're right.
I'm going to the merch store.
If you're wrong, then you got a cool T-shirt at least.
When you go to the merch store, the ball knower bonus pops up. Yeah. NBA Finals Game 1, okay. Stanley Cup Game 2. You're picking a winner. If you place an order that's $25 or more in the merch store, then pick the winner of whichever game you choose there. You will win a bonus gift card worth 100% of your order value. That's how the ball knower bonus works. I told you I knew. Just had to go through the prompts.
There you go. Follow the prompts.
I don't know because I don't even want the gift card. I pay full price for my merch because I support the company.
I do too.
You know what I'm saying?
I show up to work every day.
That's what I'm talking about.
I don't support that way.
Not gonna do it that way.
You know my hard and fast rule. I don't give money back to the company.
Oh, Jesse. Holly. Okay. HolleyLuyeayeaYeaYea. Or CavaNawNawNaw.
Put on a T-shirt.
Cavante Turpin. That's a lot of letters on a T-shirt. Cavante Turpin will score a rushing, a receiving, a punt return, and a kick return touchdown this year.
HolleyLuyeayeaYeaYea. 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 Cavante Turpin will do all 4 of those things. He's going to get a couple of those. You want to know what some of those other carriers are going to go? Cavante Turpin.
He'll have 20 to 30.
And then on the season, he'll break one.
You think one's going to go?
One's going to go, for sure. You know he's going to get one touchdown, even if it's in receiving touchdown, even if it's in cleanup. Yeah. He's going to get one of those. And he's the best punt and kickoff returner in the National Football League.
Yeah, we do have the best returner.
We have the best kicker and the best kickoff and punt returner in the league.
Yeah.
So I'm going HolleyLuyeayeaYeaYeaYea.
I'm gonna shock you. I'm going CavaNawNawNaw.
Why?
Because he's gonna miss one of them.
No.
He's gonna miss one of them. I don't know which one. Because he is gonna
So
return.
you saying he's gonna get 3 out of 4?
Yes. I think a lot of teams are gonna tell their kick returner, 35's good. We're happy to be on the 35. But of course, if you do kick it off successfully to the 1, but people don't want Turpin to return. But I don't think he cares. We're in a honey badger don't care situation here because we know we have the best returner, and they're gonna be like, go ahead, have a good time. He's gonna get 3. I don't know which one he's gonna miss. He could miss the right. He might go 0 for 4.
No way.
He might.
No way.
He'll have a punt return.
Come on.
He'll have a punt return for sure.
He'll get a reception and he'll get a punt return.
I think he'll have an
sure.
offensive touchdown, but I don't know which one, receiving or rushing. Receiving would be the favorite, right? He'll have a receiving touchdown. He'll have a punt return touchdown. Rushing kick return. He'll go 2 for 4.
No.
He'll go 3 for 4. Kick return touchdown. No rushing touchdown.
You're a hater.
I nailed it.
Such a hater.
I nailed it. HolleyLuyeayeaYeaYea or CavaNawNawNaw. Brandon Aubrey will attempt and make a 70-yard field goal this year.
I'm going to go CavaNawNawNaw.
Boy, you're a hater.
Because here's the thing. He'll do one of 2. He will attempt a 70-yard field goal. He won't make it.
See, they screwed him last year. Like, I was ahead of the game. When Dak got hurt, I said the season's over. The team tried their best. They won too many games, whatever. But I knew the season was over. And I wanted him to kick from 70 then, every week. And the one time McCarthy finally let him, we were outdoors, it was 36 degrees, and the wind was, I'm like, what are you doing? I was the most pro, let's kick a 70-yarder. I don't even remember where it was. Like, we were in Soldier Field, and it was -13, and it's like, now's the time, boys. No, it's not.
Was it Carolina?
I don't remember.
Yeah,
I just remember it was cold or coldish and windy. He's going to get one. He's going to get one in AT&T.
Okay, so that's what limits it, right?
He's gonna
Because
get one in AT&T.
it's not happening in outdoors.
No, it's happening in AT&T.
Right? So it has to happen indoors. So you get 8 chances at home. You play in Detroit. That's an indoor stadium.
He could do it there too.
So you get 9 shots so far. Who else do they play this indoors?
New York has a nice stadium. Do they roof that thing when it's cold?
That's outside.
Okay.
It's outside. MetLife's outside, baby.
I don't know. You got to maybe look up the schedule.
No, I'm
then
just
I have to know their stadiums.
I think he will attempt it. I think he'll attempt it more than once.
If he gets more than one crack at it,
I think he's going to make.
He's got 77 in that leg.
I don't think so.
He got 77.
That's a reach. That's a reach. He will definitely attempt it. He'll have 2 attempts on the season.
He could kick it as far as Milton can throw it. Except he knows where the ball's going when he kicks.
No, he doesn't.
Aubrey knows where it's going when he kicks it. Kinda. Well, when you try to kick it 80,
if you gave Joe Milton that much of a window to throw into,
you think he'd make it?
You think he'll make more? He'll make more.
Mile High.
Oh.
Now we're cooking.
October though, a little chilly.
I don't know.
All right. So
in Denver, he'll get it from 80.
No, I think he will attempt a 70-yard. I think he'll attempt 2 70-yarders in this season. He will not make either.
What if he does try it from 70, but the sun's in his eyes at AT&T?
Boy, we'll never hit it into that one. We'll never hit it into that one.
It's the most cowboy thing of all time. I saw a super chat. Let's kick over to the super chat. I know I got at least one to catch up on. Nesto. I always think about Terp missing that lane in the San Fran playoff game. He's going to go 4 for 4.
I'm telling you, Nesto, he's going to get a chance.
He's going 3 for 4.
He's definitely going to get a chance.
HolleyLuyeayeaYeaYea or CavaNawNawNaw. Micah Parsons is finally going to win Defensive Player of the Year. I'll handle this one for you. CavaNawNawNaw. No, I disagree with myself. HolleyLuyeayeaYeaYea. The voters want to give it to Micah.
Do they?
Yes, I think they do. Because I think in every sport this happens. What if you have a guy who's deserving that has never won it yet, they want to get him one. And whether it's injuries, production coming off the end of the year, like he goes through every year being the favorite or one of the 2 favorites until week 10.
Yeah.
Or he gets banged up or he starts to fall off or whatever. They want Micah to have one. If he plays 17, Micah Parsons will win Defensive Player of the Year. He'll have 16-ish sacks, and he will win Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, it's a CavaNawNawNaw for me.
Hater.
And the reason is
You've always hated Micah, though.
I love the player. Don't like all this. I love the player. I love the player.
Hate the game.
The problem is, at 250 pounds, he can't last an entire season. That's documented. And even though he had a rise at the end of the season last year, it's because he missed a month of football. At that size, at the position that he plays, and even now in this Eberflus defense, which is not going to be an exotic defense, it's not going to be one where he's moving around a bunch or he's, disguised a bunch. He just wears down. And as you get older, your endurance throughout the season doesn't get greater, especially at that size.
Get 14 sacks in your first 11 games. Coast to it.
There's a stretch where you can kind of get jiggy. You got a stretch early in the year where you can get loose. But what happens when you get to November?
We got to have a big lead.
Do you have
on
some
the
juice?
award? We got to have a big lead.
Do you have the juice to end the season? And that's where he loses a lot of times his opportunity to win it. Because he'll be the front runner, and then he'll be lined up with a bunch of other people. It'd be him, Max, Miles, TJ. It'll be a bunch of dudes like in the conversation back and forth week in and week out. And he'll kind of be in the lead. And then we'll get to that November portion of it. And you start playing better competitions. Signature games are coming about. And his body just fails him. He wears down. There's little knick-knack injuries. And he just doesn't have enough to get over the hump. And he finishes around that 10, 11, 12 sack when the other guys out there go and get the 15, 16 sacks. And their teams are playing a little bit more competitive football. And they go into the playoffs and all that kind of stuff. So I love the player, man. He just wears down. He wears down towards the end of the year.
HolleyLuyeayeaYeaYea. Mike, I need 12 sacks in the first 10 games because he's not wrong. So we're just going to have to start hot. We're going to have to get out hot and then coast to the Defensive Player of the Year award. Die Hard with a question for us. If you sign up to be a Die Hard, you don't only get all of the incredible content on our website, which is a great value. You also get access to the merch store. You get a free T-shirt. And in the merch store, you get 20% off if you are a Die Hard, all these different things, right? You also get to be in our Discord where there are now over 1,500 DLLS Diehards. And so I told him, hey, you guys are our diehards. I value you. Is there anything you would like to hear from Jesse and I? And I'm going to go with GURP21. Love the content you guys put out. I'm in a state of full wedding mode since I'm getting married in a couple weeks. Haven't been able to focus 100% on the Cowboys. But if you and Jesse have any tips to obtain domestic bliss or any other words of advice, please give them. Ha ha. So as a couple of 41-year-old guys who are not married, I think we are the perfect people to give this guy advice on.
There's still time. CavaNawNawNaw. Don't get married.
No, that is not the
CavaNawNawNaw. Don't do it. That's where that's where the bliss is at right there, brother.
That is not the advice.
CavaNawNawNaw. And just stay in the streets.
She's always right.
No, that's terrible advice. That is not. I've always hated this. She's always right. Happy wife, happy life. No, there is a miserable dude who is sitting in the garage hating to go in the house because she's always right and happy wife, happy life.
That is true. We need to be honest. Make sure that you respect yourself enough to express yourself honestly. Boundaries are okay.
CavaNawNawNaw. Don't do it.
That is not.
I'm telling you. CavaNawNawNaw.
That is not the answer. Let's get some wedding bliss advice from Chill. If Chill were here, I think that he could offer great advice. I would tell you the secret to marital bliss: Blue Chew. I think that's important.
No, because then
snacks in the house.
Oh, snacks are good.
Make sure that you have goldfish and Wendy's Frosties at all times.
Know her food order.
That's important.
Know her food order. Women never know what they want to eat or where they want to eat. Know it. Know that. So that way she goes, no, I don't want anything. All right, cool. You go and you get it anyway because you know when you come back, she's going to say, well, you didn't get me anything? Well, you said you didn't want anything. Well, I wasn't hungry at that moment before you left, but I'm hungry now. Know a food order.
See, I think I would go backwards on that one because I think that's almost the happy wife, happy life. I will take you at your word. If you say I don't need anything, you're not going to get anything. When I get home, if you tell me that you wanted something, I'll say, well, next time I sure would appreciate it if when I say, would you like anything, you say yes, because then I'll know to get you something. I can't read your mind. That's not the way it's going to work. You're going to have to express yourself.
Now she's in your food. and you can't enjoy your meal properly.
Okay, always get an extra chicken tendy. Always get an extra tendy and a hush puppy, and you'll be in good shape. Thanks for stopping by today, everybody. We love you. You're the best. We will be back tomorrow to hang out with you. Sign up to be a diehard, all the good things. Remember, you have no idea what anybody's going through, so be cool to everybody. We love you. Be easy.
Eliminate the contingencies.
Or else not threat.
We all silly like the mayor.